Travel isn't just about where you're going, it's also about how you feel getting there. A little preparation, like packing snacks or sipping tart cherry juice, can turn chaos into calm and make the journey almost as rewarding as the destination. We experience 1,000 waking minutes on average every day. How are you spending yours? I'm Dr. Wendy Bazilian, and you're listening to 1,000 Waking Minutes. I can't wait to connect with you here with practical ways to eat well, move daily, and be healthy, to optimize every waking minute you live for a happier, healthier life. Thank you for sharing some of your waking minutes with me today. Let's get started.
I'm saying yes to better days, yes. I'm on my way, yes. It's gonna be okay, yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to 1,000 Waking Minutes. I'm Dr. Wendy Bazilian, and we're going to continue our journey to make the most of our waking minutes with small, practical choices to help us eat well, move daily, and be healthy toward a fulfilling and well-lived life. This is part 2 of our Travel Well series, and today we're talking about nutrition and self-care while traveling. We've just come through that Thanksgiving holiday, time of joy, probably some indulgence, maybe a little bit of chaos, and the rest of the holiday season is ahead of us. It's the perfect time to focus on how to feel good while navigating the planes, trains, automobiles, or even just the local mall if you hit the Black Fridays and all the sales upcoming. As Anita Desai, an acclaimed Indian author known for exploring deep connections between people and place, beautifully said, "Wherever you go becomes a part of you somehow." I love that quote. Wherever you go becomes a part of you somehow. And food and self-care are central to that experience. Think of that. They literally become a part of you. But exploring and having adventures with food and dining, and the small rituals that we can take with us, but also learn, can impact not only how we feel, but how we connect and how we enjoy our journey. So today we're going to explore how to nourish yourself, not only once the journey's underway, but pre-travel. I'm going to set us up for success by backing up to the planning period. You don't just arrive at the gate with your baggage already packed. You have to do a little planning, and we're going to do that with nutrition as well. We're going to talk about once we're on the go and underway. Once we arrive, I'm always interested in sharing some research-backed insights to hopefully drive home some of these strategies on why they're so important for your overall health. And I'll even include my jet lag smoothie. Yes, it's a thing, and people say it's practically magic in helping us navigate if you're crossing time zones. Our routine can be simple, it can be productive, and it can really make a difference as we embark on our adventure. I'll even provide a couple ideas for when you arrive back home, recovering from your adventures, hopefully with lots of wonderful memories. Okay, let's get started. So I've learned over the years that travel can either lift you up or sometimes throw you completely off balance. And I think the difference is all in the preparation, because we certainly have to be adaptable. We have to be fit to travel. We have to be able to roll with the punches a little bit. But traveling well isn't just about the destination. It really is about how you prepare, you adapt, and you care for yourself along the way. I remember a chaotic holiday travel day years ago, and we probably all had these. I was rushing to catch a flight. I had skipped breakfast. I had forgotten my coffee drink, my coffee mug that I was planning on bringing out the door. I didn't have snacks packed. And by the time I landed at the end of that travel day, I was not only hungry, I was rather dehydrated because I was sort of scrambling throughout the day trying to catch up, and I felt completely off kilter. And it was not the best way to start off a holiday gathering in recovery mode, trying to recover from that travel. But since that time, I've developed a few go-to strategies. I have some things pre-packed. Maybe you do that with some of your toiletries, or if you travel often, a bag with some preset things or lists to do. And I have that for traveling well when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to movement as well. Some strategies, a checklist of sorts as well to help keep me feeling my best. And certainly, as each year ticks on, it becomes even more imperative that I utilize those. No matter where I'm headed, it can be a short haul or a really long journey. I always plan ahead when it comes to my health. So some of these include some smart snacks, ways to stay hydrated during travel. And I'm going to share some of these strategies with you today because travel doesn't have to derail your health. And it doesn't have to be an interruption between where you were and where you're going. It can actually enhance your health if you give a little attention to that. For me, my pre-travel routine has become a non-negotiable, especially as time has passed and as we gain more minutes and moments on our life, which is called aging, of course. It becomes even more imperative. I usually start a day, sometimes two, maybe even more if it's a longer journey across multiple time zones, with some strategies. I'll certainly start upping my consumption of tart cherry juice, and I'll give you a little bit of a formula or a recipe of sorts to do that to come today in today's episode. Or my jet lag smoothie, which is basically tart cherry juice, a handful of greens like some spinach, a scoop of protein powder, some frozen berries blended up together. It's helpful because it's a source of melatonin, can help with better sleep and energy. And it also often helps me use up some of my extra fruits and veggies before the trip so that I can whittle down on my inventory and not waste. I also pack my wellness kit, a mix of a few snacks, some hydration tools that I'll be sharing with you in a few minutes here, a few immune supporting essentials, and then some of my creature comforts. I shared some of those in the last episode on traveling well. I'll share a few again, but things like my eye mask and earbuds and things that make travel feel more comfortable. Once during a long trip to Europe, which I live in San Diego, so that is a long journey and across multiple time zones. Usually, most times of the year, it's about 9 hours different in our time zone. But I was sitting and the woman next to me and I got to speaking and I took out one of my trail mix snacks and I offered her some. So I always pack extra. That's one of the things that I do. But I shared it with her and she partook and enjoyed herself. Though we mostly kept to our own throughout the flight, we were reading and, participating in the in-flight entertainment. I recall having my computer out. I was probably doing some work to catch up before I went on vacation or to get ahead, I guess. She told me later in the flight that it sort of saved her day. We did have some in-flight meals that came down the aisles. I think she had higher expectations for them. She found them barely tolerable, and she hadn't packed anything along the way. I know what that feels like. And it was a little moment that sort of reminded me about how important it was that I did that for myself. It turned out that it wasn't just for me, it was for us. I sort of had a new flight buddy as a result. So the impact of some of these pre-travel strategies can help you just be prepared. You may not even need some of them. I bet you will, but you may not even need some of them. But having them allows you to be prepared for your journeys. So let's now talk about the why behind all the travel nutrition tips I'm going to give you today. Why some of these preparations and practices can be really worth our time and benefit our health. I always call these the ROIs, the returns on investment, of using some of our waking minutes, attending not just to packing your clothes and toiletries, but focusing on your nutrition and health while traveling. So first is the relationship between hydration and cognitive function. It's valid, it's true, and this should be a very compelling reason to pack your water bottle and practice some of the strategies that I'll be sharing. Airplane cabins are incredibly dehydrating. They have humidity levels between 10 and 20%. You ever think about that? This can cause dryness to the mucous membranes in your body, your eyes, your airways, and become, yes, you guessed it, dehydrating to your overall body. According to research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, even mild dehydration can impact memory, focus, and mood. So, packing a travel water bottle or even a collapsible water bottle, I have one that rolls up and becomes very tidy when it's empty, and then you can fill it. Choosing hydrating drinks like green tea or adding electrolyte tablets or fizzies into your water can make a big difference. And take note on this because we're going to revisit this as a practical strategy, and I can't emphasize it enough. The second reason or return on investment, the benefit of having a travel well plan is supporting your immune system. Travel exposes us to new environments and therefore new germs too. And of course, sometimes we get packed in tight quarters with a lot of people from a lot of parts of the world and a lot of stages of health at any given moment. A study in the Journal of Nutrition highlighted how zinc and vitamin C can help reduce the severity of colds and support this immune system functions. Now, keep in mind that vitamin C, we've been hearing about it forever, it persists. Vitamin C long ago was pretty much established that it won't prevent colds, but vitamin C can help decrease the severity or reduce the duration of that cold. And I would say those are two major benefits that I'd like to participate in. So including some zinc-rich foods, some vitamin C-rich foods, or maybe having a pre-travel, during travel, post-travel sequence of supplementation with some zinc lozenges or vitamin C supplementation might be helpful. And adding foods like citrus will give you vitamin C, strawberries, kiwi. There's vibrant and wonderful sources of vitamin C. Red bell peppers, here's another one that I'm going to encourage us to bring on the plane. Also, upping your probiotics pre-travel, during, and after might be wise. So you can focus on things like kefir and yogurts. You can maybe have a probiotic supplement that's geared to balance your gut during travel. These have a potential to help with our immunity. So we know that our immune system is at least a bit challenged when we travel. And some of these practices can help us along to maintain a healthy immune system. Because let's face it, we don't want to get sick when we travel. And that would be quite a bummer indeed. The third major benefit of having a travel well nutrition and self-care plan is keeping your energy steady. In other words, keeping balanced energy levels to fuel our days and hopefully avoid the crashes. I mean, we're already being challenged with time zones and sleeping irregularities. We don't need our food, our food choices, our food availability to make that even harder. So to keep our energy smooth, having balanced snacks and meals that have fiber sources, healthy fats, good sources of protein can help stabilize our blood sugar. They can reduce the energy dips. And these can be common during travel if you don't have a travel well plan, because again, our schedule is being interrupted and our routine and the availability of options may be limited unless you plan ahead. So thinking about things like walnuts and dried cherries and oatmeal, which I'm going to revisit in some of our practical tips. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrients confirmed that foods high in fiber, protein, and healthy fats can improve mood and reduce fatigue in high stress situations like travel. And the final benefit I want to share today is helping to manage jet lag with nutrition. Here's a fun fact about tart cherry juice. Did you know that it's a natural source of melatonin? You may have heard about melatonin and sleep. Melatonin is a hormone that helps us regulate sleep cycle. It doesn't put us to sleep, but helps us manage the circadian rhythm. In addition, there's some balance that can happen with our nutrition and diet that can help us reduce fatigue and help regulate the sleep-wake cycle. A study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging confirmed that nutrient-dense snacks can not only improve mood, but help with the sleep-wake cycle during high-stress situations, aka like traveling. So if you pair some protein with healthy fats, you can have a great pre-travel and during travel routine that can help you minimize the jet lag. So those are just some of the benefits, and I'm going to put it into practice in a few minutes. Okay, so now it's time for us to enjoy a mindful minute together, wherever you are, whether you're sitting in an airport lounge, on a train, or just at home. This is your time to center yourself. And I say this because as we experience this episode together, wherever you are today, I hope you take this into your mind and into your travel and try it there too. So first, I'm going to prepare us for the minute, and then we'll enjoy the minute together with a breathing exercise and then reflect on the moment. First, I encourage you to sit comfortably with your feet flat on the floor. Relax your shoulders, maybe do that by rolling them back one time, and take a deep breath in with your nose and out through your mouth. We are going to do a 4-7-8 breathing technique, something I first shared in the first episode on traveling well. And that is inhaling to a count of 4, holding for a count of 7, and exhaling slowly to a count of 8. This is a more intentional breathing exercise. We're going to try it once together, and then over the course of 1 minute, you actually can accomplish 3 cycles of this 4-7-8 technique. So let's do one together. Let's begin. Breathing in to 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's begin our mindful minute together. As you're breathing, imagine your body being nourished by the choices you make today, feeling hydrated, balanced, and energized, extending to your travel. Start thinking of one small intentional choice, a sip of water, a healthy snack, a moment of stillness that you can make today and while you travel. As you exhale in the last few seconds, slowly feel yourself grounded, feet on the floor, feel your toes, your heels, and you're ready for the rest of your day. And there we go. It's incredible how just a moment of mindfulness can change how we approach the day, especially during this holiday season, which can get so busy and filled with so many activities and things to do. These mini sips of meditation, a mindful minute once or twice or more each day, can really help us rest and ground ourselves. So thank you for sharing that mindful minute with me. Now let's get into some actionable tips to make your travel experience healthier and more enjoyable. I'm going to break this into pre-travel, during travel, and after travel tips. First, with the pre-travel. This is the heart of staying nourished while traveling. Planning, especially your snacks. Please trust me when I say that including some of these will bring peace of mind upon your departure and literally save you from making choices that you actually didn't want to make when you were on other trips, but felt you had to because you were either really hungry or maybe you were modestly hungry and modestly bored and just grabbed that package of snack mix on the plane, coated in something salty. You took a bite, were curious, and you found yourself eating it all the way to the bottom, asking yourself sort of, why did I just do that? But moving on with your day. So the day or two before you travel, take a little time to prep. It doesn't have to be complicated, and you get better at it over time. It becomes just like packing, but have a few smart, portable options packed and ready, and it will make all the difference. Start simple. I pack oatmeal packets. Yes, instant. They have flavored and it's organic, and those are the times that I use that. I pack organic instant oatmeal packets. Why? It can be such a lifesaver. It's warm, satisfying, and it only requires hot water, which you can get virtually anywhere. It can save you as a snack to tide you over. It can be a go-to sort of breakfast alternative if you can pair it with something else like a little bit of protein and some fruit. And then next, pull out some tea bags, maybe green tea or a favorite caffeinated or herbal tea that you love. Or my friend reminded me of ginger tea, something that she loves to pack, which doubles for her as something that she enjoys, but is also soothing to the system, especially over those first couple days after we arrive and our stomach and gut may be a little bit out of its normal regulation. You can have these two, tea and an oatmeal, and pair them for some hydration, an antioxidant boost, and a little bit of a nourishing breakfast or snack. And we don't want to forget our trail mix. A homemade trail mix is a must in my travel kit. And you can actually buy some commercial trail mixes that are pretty good these days. I always include dried cherries and walnuts because they're natural sources of melatonin, both of them, as well as the plant-based omega-3 in the walnuts. But you can mix and match any nut and dried fruit to your liking in a trail mix. I have a recipe that actually cooks the trail mix in some beautiful, or bakes them rather, in some spices that makes a delicious trail mix, a super spice snack mix, I call it. Happy to share that recipe with you. But any trail mix, you can put in a couple tablespoons of dark chocolate chips if you wish, and it can make it into a little treat. This can give you such satiety, such satisfaction. It can really almost become a meal. Or put that in your oatmeal packet, and you've got actually a pretty complete breakfast that is portable and easy and only requires that hot water. A third thing that I pack in my pre-travel nutrition wellness kit is energy bars. So maybe it's a kind nut and fruit bar, which are low in sugar and really tasty. The macro bars I really am enjoying these days. Cliff has some neat varieties and different sizes you can choose from. And then Mosh, which is sort of an adult cognitive health bar that I've been newly introduced to. I've really enjoyed some of the flavors and the ingredients and the satisfaction of eating those. But not only do these have quality ingredients, but finding your energy bar go-to, this is the perfect way to travel portably, not relying on them all the time. But even if you travel to a foreign country, usually they're allowed in because they're individually packaged. And having a few of these on the trip can make in the pinch snacking easier. You can take them in your bag on a day outing, or if you're going to an office, if you're on business, and they can allow you to have bridges between some of the meals. If the time between meals is longer, it becomes so much easier. Also, when you have something that you're already familiar with, your system is already familiar with, you already know. So try them in advance of going on a trip and bring your favorites along. And then I always pack at least one, and often more than one, peanut butter and jelly, or, all fruit preserve jam sandwiches. Sometimes I use homemade chia jam out of berries that I make, which is really fun. Or I make what I call a modern PB&J, something I actually wrote into my first superfoods book, Modern PB&J, which is slicing fresh fruit into a sandwich with peanut butter or your favorite nut butter or seed butter, like sunflower butter. You can slice banana or apple right into the sandwich. You can do strawberries. It's also another way to sort of clear out some of your fruit from your refrigerator or your counter, if you have any, as you're preparing to travel. Then I typically slice them into quarters. And the reason I do that is because sometimes I just want a little taste of something, a little snack. And other times I need a more substantial, almost meal. This is really economical, and it's really food safe. and it's really easy on the go. So you can change it up depending on your preference, but I always think it's a good idea to have that along. You may or may not even utilize it, but not much is lost for bringing it and much can be gained. If you're planning to pack a bigger meal on the go, think about food safety. Think about, the PB&J is food safe. It doesn't have any ingredients that after 4 hours you really have to start to worry about. They can actually stay pretty safe for a day, almost 2 days. We've even stretched it a little bit further when we've needed to. But really, things that can stay okay at room temperature. You can think about cleaning out some of your vegetables in your crisper or on the counter and make a veggie sandwich or a wrap or a pita. You can add hummus or beans because those are plant-based, and it's perfect when you're traveling more than 4 hours or know that you're going to be out more than 4 hours beyond what a cold pack would be able to keep cool. And a little extra pro tip, bring something fresh like a ripe banana. You could bring a ripe avocado, a plastic knife, and some napkins, or bring some veggie crudité like carrots or celery or bell pepper slices. And you can carry those, and then you can feel really good about the food that you're consuming on the go as you travel. So with just a little prep here, you not only save time and money, you can potentially reduce some food waste, but you'll also feel so much better knowing you have some healthy and delicious options on hand that you may or may not use, but you'll probably use. The next part of our pre-travel prep at home is hydrating ahead of time and then packing your refillable water bottle and some antioxidant-rich green teas, some other things to hydrate. Start drinking water a little bit extra, really focusing on your hydration at least a day before your trip to stay ahead of the dehydration. If you're traveling across significant time zones, so in other words, 3 hours or more, you may have heard before or even tried to start to get a little head start a few days before of gradually adjusting your body toward the new time zone. So it's a little less difficult, or it takes a little less time once you get your feet on the ground in the new destination. So you might adjust your schedule an hour or two at home, your meal time, your sleep time toward the time zone that you're moving toward. Well, as I mentioned, one of the benefits of nutrition helping with jet lag, you can also start to incorporate a tart cherry smoothie, that natural source of melatonin, into your routine at least a day before, maybe 2 or 3 days before, and some sleep-friendly, nutrient-packed meals to get your body ready to travel. And if you're interested in even a more sort of systematic approach to gearing up with tart cherries, you can use tart cherry juice. During each of the 2 days prior to departure, you can drink 6 ounces of 100% tart cherry juice 3 times each day. It doesn't matter whether you drink the juice straight or add it to another drink like a smoothie or green tea, or add some bubbly water or to chamomile tea. They're all good combinations. And recognizing that juice has calories, and you might be saying, oh, sugar, this is a strategy that we're approaching to have sort of a therapeutic approach to helping you manage the jet lag later. So keep that in mind. And sometimes those are worth the energy, worth the calories, worth the effort to try these things to see if they really help make an impact, as research suggests in the populations that have been studied. The third pre-travel prep, just as you probably have your checklist for packing your toiletries and cosmetics, your electronics and chargers, of course, your clothing, you don't forget your underwear or your pajamas or your outfits, have a wellness kit. So this in part includes your snacks and your hydration tools, your refillable water bottle, your tea bags. But in the other Travel Well episode that I did that shared some movement strategies, having things like sanitizing wipes to wipe and clean your travel space and also your hands, an eye mask, maybe some noise canceling earbuds or earphones, maybe some compression socks or a footrest, a couple travel supplements or some just-in-case medications, a neck pillow, those kinds of things can really help you pre-travel. Now we're traveling. Now we're on the go. So a few tips for while traveling when you've left the house, locked it up, and you're on the go. When you're on the plane, especially, you have to be armed with those snacks and the mini meals already set. So you have them now. If you have access to the airline clubs at the airport, think about stashing a couple items like bananas, or fill a disposable coffee cup with the cap on it with maybe some crudité that they sometimes have, and put hummus at the base, or some cut fruit that may be displayed. There are some options that you can do that you can actually bring out of the clubs and onto the plane that are pretty healthy. Once you board, be cautious of the snacks and meals that are provided on the plane. Try to eat well. You're already pre-planned, so you already have what you need. But even the best airplane meals and options can be highly caloric and very high in sodium. They're actually designed to be extra flavorful, and that often means extra salt because our taste buds do change when we're at altitude. Have you ever noticed or wondered why so many people, and maybe you have even been attracted to it, order tomato juice or that Bloody Mary mixer on an airplane? They've actually looked at the consumption, and it's much, much higher on airplanes than in general daily consumption among individuals. It's the craving for the salt, or the something wet and salty, the drinkable in that very dry environment. Also, while on board, I highly recommend you try to avoid alcohol beverages. Sure, maybe you're off to a vacation or business travel. It seems time to celebrate. You're going to be sitting still for a while, but try to save that for when your feet are on the ground. Alcohol can impact you negatively when it comes to overcoming jet lag. And let's face it, it'll be more fun when you arrive at your destination and to say cheers and to celebrate with that beverage. Now, I know that and recognize that sometimes advice I may give, you might think it's smart, but you're going to decide to do it anyway. So if you do want to toast at altitude, please try to keep it to one to minimize the impact if you're trying to feel well once you arrive. Also, when it comes to eating while on board, while traveling, well, you're going to be set up with some of your nutrition, your pre-travel nutrition. But if you're purchasing things in the airport, try to skip the overly processed foods, snacks, and meals. Those mega muffins and oversized cookies can be tempting. At the coffee shops, you see a lot of the quick service burgers and fries enticing you, or maybe the prepackaged breakfast meals. Some of those can be so high in calories, in fact, approaching all of your calories for the day in one, what you would call a snack, or even one meal. If you're traveling many hours, think about picking up maybe a grain bowl if they have one with roasted vegetables, or a wrap that has vegetables in it, a hummus or veggie wrap. Some airports have fresh rolls like spring rolls, summer rolls that you can purchase, or simple turkey or grilled chicken sandwiches. You can also make a combo lunch with some of the snacks you have, and maybe purchasing some veggie crudité that has some hummus or ranch dressing that you can dip into. And a lot of the cash registers, at least the coffee shops in the airports, will have some fresh fruit right there at the cash register, bananas or some wrapped apples or something that you can purchase. And rely on that pre-travel food that you made, your PB&J and other things. Remembering how important it is to stay hydrated, just keep that top of mind. So that's another tip when you're on board. You'll have your refillable water bottle, and if you forgot it, just buy one water bottle that you can refill. Don't rely on pressing the button and having someone come. Have one that has a little bit more so that you can do it. And maybe bring an electrolyte powder packet or some dissolvable tablets that can make water taste a little better, and actually can help you, if it's the nice right formula, help retain more water in your system as well, keeping you hydrated. We did a whole episode on hydration on 1000 Waking Minutes. So if you haven't listened to it yet, or you want to refresh all the important reasons why staying hydrated is so important, you can go back and listen to that. So instead of soda or the extra large coffee drink with the syrups in it, really stick to the simple, the water, the tea, maybe coffee. Maybe you add milk, maybe you don't, but things that can hydrate and keep your bottle filled. Finally, on the go, you might use, having brought it already, some immune system support. Maybe some zinc lozenges that can also double at getting your salivation flowing and making you thirsty. Some vitamin C packets maybe that are individual single serve, and maybe some probiotic foods or a supplement to help keep your gut and immune system strong. Of course, the number one way to keep the germs and bacteria at bay are keeping your hands clean. And it's the number one way of transferring a cold or flu. So focusing on that, having some hand sanitizer, this is the time to do it, some hand wipes, some antibacterials. There's a number of different options for you to keep your hands clean and away from your face while you travel. Now, just a couple tips on once you arrive at your destination. One of the things I'd like to encourage you to do when you go somewhere is try to explore the local foods mindfully. So look for indulgences to be a special restaurant or the new flavors, but also aim for balance while you do it. So you can pair the indulgences, the indulgent meals, things that you've been looking forward to trying, the treats, with some lighter meals and lighter options. So opt for the unusual instead of the ordinary or usual when you're making your choices. Maybe think about visiting some local farmers markets if they're in season, or trying some local vegetables and fruits. Make health on purpose so it's also part of your memory and your goals while you're traveling. Reset with plenty of hydration and rest. So start your mornings with the hydration routine, the glass of water. Have high protein breakfasts to help stabilize your energy for the day. And of course, keep moving, staying active. We did a whole episode on the value and importance of taking a walk after meals. This is a great way, staying active, to acclimate to a new environment and really help your body in a multitude of ways. Finally, when you get back home, rehydrate, rehydrate, rehydrate. First thing in the morning, your body is already dehydrated from the travel, from the air again. Start your day with a glass of water. Focus on anti-inflammatory foods when you arrive home. So keeping it simple. Maybe plan a few meals where you really focus on leafy greens and berries and salmon to reduce the inflammation that may have come from travel or some of your indulgences. And take it easy for a few days if you can. If you're arriving home and you can, nourish yourself with some simple meals. Get your whole system back on track with some easy to digest meals, some salads, some soups, easy things to reset your nutrition. And when you're back at home, this does play a role in nutrition, as you'll see in a moment. Don't forget to prioritize and catch up on your sleep. Create a calming bedtime routine for the first several nights back. Good to continue that if you can. Maybe a chamomile tea, do some gentle stretches, wind down on the evening, get off the screens a little bit earlier, and it will help you reset your internal clock and overcome any jet lag returning home. Getting your sleep in check actually helps your appetite hormones get back in check as well. And those are your hunger and satiety, knowing when you're full hormones. And it also helps your gut readjust into the new, or rather your home again time zone. Wow. So I feel like we basically just went on a travel adventure together, you and I. We prepared, we found ourselves able to adapt to a few curveballs that are inevitable along the way. And hopefully we collected some memories. Boy, that was fun. And now it's great to be home. That's the key about making some of your 1000 waking minutes geared toward having preparation and great travel and using nutrition to your benefit so that you can feel great and have those memories and not belly aches when you get home. Now, as we do in each episode, I want to pose a question to you to think about right now and during your week. Put in your mind your next travel that you have on the calendar, which might be right around the corner. Here's the question. What is one thing you can try on your next trip to make your nutrition routine better and more health promoting? Again, what's one thing you can try on your next trip to make your nutrition routine better and more health promoting for you? Whether it's packing some homemade snacks, hydrating better, or starting a pre-travel routine, remember that spending some of your waking minutes strategically before you travel, these small steps can make a big difference on your comfort and on your health. So as we wrap up today's episode on traveling well, I'd like to recap. Today we covered how to prioritize nutrition and self-care while traveling and importantly, our pre-travel preparation, like packing some helpful snacks and meals, preparing for hydrating with our reusable water bottle, and having our wellness kit. We talked about our on-the-go what to do once we get to the airport or the train station and what to do while traveling, as well as when we hit the ground running, adapting, embracing some local foods mindfully, while enjoying all the fun of travel too. Small intentional choices like these can literally transform your travel experience and actually be health promoting, part of our healthful and well-lived life. And these choices can help you arrive at your destination feeling balanced and energized, ready to enjoy every moment, and arrive home with good memories and feeling well too. Thank you for sharing some of your waking minutes with me today on 1000 Waking Minutes. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and tune in next week. I'm Wendy Bazilian, and happy trails to you until we meet again. Until next time, be well. Thank you for tuning in to 1000 Waking Minutes. A huge thank you to our amazing collaborators, including our production and marketing teams, and Gabriela Escalante in particular. To the ultra-talented Beza for my theme music, my lifelong friend and artist, Pearl Price Photography and Design, to Daniel Ballantyne, Jen Nguyen, Joanna Powell, and of course my family, and everyone working tirelessly behind the scenes. And to you, our valued listeners, I so appreciate your support. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment, writing a review, and giving 1000 Waking Minutes, that's us, a 5-star rating. And please hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Please follow and stay connected at wendybazilian.com. And don't forget to share with your friends. Your support helps us grow and bring you more great content. Until next time, find some simple opportunities to optimize those 1000 waking minutes each day.
I'm saying yes to better days, yes, I'm all